Question 1.2 now says solve simultaneously for x and y for 5 marks. Y plus x is equals to 12 and xy is equals to 14 minus 3x. So ideally the main objective of a simultaneous equation is, well, you're given two equations and your job, if necessary, you need to create a third equation. So let's write this in a way that we can understand. So I'm just going to rewrite these things. All right, so this is equation 1 and xy is equals to 14 minus 3x. Equation 2. So the one that's easiest to change or to get a third equation out of, because here we have two variables, so we need one where it's only x's on the one side, only y's on the one side, is where equation 1 is the easiest to make a third. So here I'm going to make y the subject because that's easier, or x, it does. That's entirely up to you. So it will be 12 minus x, and that will be our third equation. Right, so there's more than one way to do this. You can even try and get a third equation from the second one. It's entirely up to you. So now comes in, once you have the third one, you need to take that third equation and you need to sub it into the equation that you did not touch. So in our instance, we need to sub equation 3 into equation 2 because we never touched that yet. So wherever we see y, so let's just highlight this part here. So 12 minus x, we'll just sub that in wherever we see y, just to make our life easier, because what that will do is it will allow us to only have x's in our equation. Then we can solve for x much easily. So here x into 12 minus x is equals to 14 minus 3x. Then foiling this out, we can get 12x minus x squared is equals to 14 minus 3x. We can sort out all our like sums. Let's get everything onto the right hand side just so we have x squared as positive. So that will be x squared minus 3x minus 12x. So that will be minus 15x, and then plus 14 since that was already on that side. All right, so now we can factorize this, and as you can see, it's a positive there, so it will either be both negative or both positive, but since we have a minus in the middle, our factors will be both negative. So this would be x minus 14 and x minus 1. Thereafter, we'll get our two x values, so we'll get x is equals to 14 or x is equals to 1. Right, so now that's all well and good, that's fine, but that only gives us our x values. Right, so now what we need to do now is we need to take these x values and sub them into either one of the equations, 1, 2, or 3, but ideally 3, since it's already in the form of y is equals to, then we can just sub in the x value to get our corresponding y value for these x values. So ideally what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring equation 3 down so we know what we sub it into for these two. So once we sub in x is equals to 14, let's sub in 14 wherever we see x here. So that will be 12 minus x, and that will give us y is equals to minus 2, right? And then if you put 1 in there, I mean 12 minus 1, we will just get y is equals to 11. And this is our corresponding y value to those x values.